Hey, okay, so life phases. What are life phases in astrology? Um, we all go through all 12 signs within our lifetime. So where we start is where we're born. That's the phase that we're going through. And then it goes, from the rising sign to the second house to the third house. That's the energy you're going to be going through. So you can also match this up to, if you have kids and you're trying to understand why they are the way they are right now, you can sort of determine what signs, like what phase, what sign they're going through. So, for example, if your kid is like 7, and he's being a little like distant, or maybe acting out a little bit, maybe, having a lot of emotion, might be going through a water sign, could be going through a Scorpio phase or a Pisces phase or something like that. And, look into how to deal with, say a Scorpio, or how to deal with a Pisces, and, give them the space that they need, or give them the love that they're requiring, or just like the confirmation that everything is okay, things like that, for kids. Now, after you pass, this is the birth chart. If you've never seen a birth chart before, focus. If you've never seen a birth chart before, look at my other videos. I explain all this. Look at the video, The School of Life. That you'll understand what all this means. So this is birth. This is our rising sign, the ascendant line here. And then, this is creating your identity. This is creating your reality. This is building relationships. So this is all the imagination phase of our life where, it's childhood pretty much. Now, passing the IC line, this is like when puberty starts. And this is like our young adulthood phases. So whatever signs are ruling these houses, or actually not ruling, but teaching these houses, that is going to determine the phase that you're sort of going through. After you pass sorry, I'm like getting over being sick again. After you pass the descendant line, this is when something made you really grow up. Like, something happened in your life where you were like, oh my God, this is what it's like to be an adult. Like, shit, and you just learned how to pretty much like fend for yourself, or, you're pretty much like just hit in the face of the life, and you're like, wow, okay. So that's your descendant line. If you haven't experienced something like that yet, or, if maybe, something happened that sort of made you grow up, but it wasn't like a huge slap in the face, then you're probably still in the young adult phase, which is wonderful. Enjoy it while it lasts. and then, something's gonna happen and you're gonna move into the adulthood phase. And then over here is it's kind of like the grandparent phase. You don't necessarily have to be a grandparent, but it's like being wise, being able to share, knowledge and just wisdom with the rest of the world, and just being more like, complete. Hopefully you will have learned a lot of lessons by this time. But it really depends on your chart, what signs are teaching each house. So each house has its normal ruler, which goes Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So it goes from birth to death. So the transition from Pisces into Aries is always a very big shift. I'm going to give an example of the phase that I am going into based on knowing when I had this time in my life where I had to like seriously grow up. And that was when I got married and I moved to Montreal, which is a province, a city in a province that only speaks, well, they don't only speak French, but you have to be able to speak fluent French in order to get a decent job. And I was used to being, you know, more of like a leader because I was going through, before this time, I was in my Capricorn phase. I was a leader. I was a manager. I was running 2 stores. I was doing like really well for myself. And then, you know, I went through an Aquarius phase, which is pretty much when I met my husband. And, you know, was breaking off and being more like, ooh, la da da da. I didn't really care what anyone thought. You know, I was dating this French guy, whatever. Well, Canadian, spoke French. And then I was like, yeah, we're gonna get married. We're gonna get married. And everyone's like, no, don't do it. And I'm like, yeah, too bad. I'm gonna do it. Totally freaking Aquarius thing to do. They're very rebellious. And then I moved. I was slapped in the face with life. Like, it's not easy. Things, you know, I had to learn a different language. I had to just be very humbled by the situation. I was doing immigrant jobs. Like, I was a housekeeper at a hotel, and I was a nanny. That was all I could do because I didn't speak the language. That was all I could do. And, you know, I never saw myself in that kind of setting, but it happened. And I was just like, wow, I understand so much more about life and what other people have to deal with. And like, now I understand if someone moves to another country and they don't speak the language, it is extremely difficult. And I have so much respect for them if they can actually get through that and learn the language and learn how to be comfortable in a country that's not their own. Wow. I was trying to get to that point. Things shifted with my marriage, and I was moving into, well, actually, I was still in a Pisces phase, but when my marriage ended, it pushed me into an Aries phase, because I had to be. I didn't let myself, like, sulk too much. I was still transitioning from Pisces to Aries, but yeah, it really pushed me into the Aries phase. So, this is when I moved to Los Angeles, and I was just like exploring. I was just meeting people, and I was partying, and like I had so much energy and passion and drive, and like it was a weird time for me though, because I don't have any planets in that sign to like sort of gauge like, yeah, this is part of me, you know. It was kind of weird. But now I'm moving into a Taurus phase, and this is where my Venus sign is. And a Taurus is going to, you know, really appreciate being home. They're going to appreciate stability, you know, financial reward. They like their nice things. They also like nature and, you know, getting out some of the time. They also really like food, as we know. So it's just like, you know, the realistic earth-like pleasures of this physical reality. But it's funny though, because this is also a Taurus phase in the 9th house. So the 9th house is about philosophy and positivity. So I'm going to combine that Taurus energy with the Sagittarius energy, because 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius. So, and that's where my Venus is. So it's going to be a very, also Taurus is fixed. Taurus doesn't actually need anyone. They're whole on their own. And then Sagittarius is mutable. So, you know, there is a good even keel there. But yeah, anyway, that's me. I'm moving into my Taurus energy. If you want to know what energy you are either in or that you're moving into to better understand your goals, like your short-term goals that you have right now that kind of aren't really like you, that aren't really making sense, or like what you thought they would be, this will make sense based on what phase you're in. So for example, if you are, well, all right, I'll just say this. My friend is going through a Scorpio phase. And that can be a really difficult phase to go through, because it's literally like all of your insecurities, your thoughts, your emotions that really aren't serving you, even your like ideals, everything that's not serving you is all bubbling up to the surface and coming out into your life. Now, it's a good thing. You need this to happen because you are shifting into your Sagittarius phase. Once you are in your Sagittarius, this is also, again, philosophy, positivity, excitement. You know, you just want to like get out and explore. You need to get all this shit out of you first in order for that to be able to happen. So it's very common for someone who's going through a Scorpio phase to like kind of feel the need to be alone because they realize that things are coming out that they don't necessarily understand. This is a time when you really have to try to understand your emotions and your thoughts, and like honestly, you should see a therapist. And it's nothing bad. It's just that to help you get everything out and to like see it for what it is and to understand it, you need someone to help you with that. And if you're already like someone who's not really good at understanding your emotions, you should really see a therapist. If you are someone who's good at understanding your emotions, you may be able to get through this pretty easily. But yeah, that's important. It can be a really hard time. Oh, actually, my ex-husband is going through a Scorpio phase. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, he's definitely gonna watch this. Sorry. But I was going through Pisces, so that's like water. It was just like too much. It was too much. So yeah, but I've moved on very quickly. He progresses through his, you know, phases a little slower. I move very fast. So yeah, and you know, a way that you can know what energies you're going to be feeling later in life is just to look at, okay, my next phase after Taurus is Gemini. After that, it's Cancer. After that, it is Leo. So what that means is that after I get this phase of like really feeling like a true adult and like balancing myself and supporting, like just having a stable home and career, then I'll be moving into Gemini, where I'll probably be very social. I will want to oh, it's also in the 10th house. So combine Capricorn with Gemini. The thought that just came to mind was like Donald Trump. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna be Donald Trump, but like but it's that sort of like, I can fucking do this, you know, I'm a leader, I can do this. And then combining it with like a social sort of energy. And then I'll move into a Cancer phase. This is probably where I'll want to like actually have a family, or, you know, just be wanting to be around, like surrounded by kids, or who knows. And that's also in my Aquarius house, the 11th house. So, you know, that could also just be, I really want to give to the rest of the world, and that's just like my main priority at that time. It's the water bearer sign mixed with Cancer, which is water. So yeah, it's a very that'll be a very loving time. And then I'll move into Leo in the 12th house, and that's when I will feel comfortable with being in the spotlight. I'm not comfortable being in the spotlight right yet, but I know that that's where my Mars is, and that's really important for me to cultivate. So like I said before in my other videos, I think in the School of Life, a birth chart is 3 things. It is a description of your personality. It is a snapshot of the sky at the time you were born, where all the planets were and what signs. And it is also a timeline of your lifespan. So it's really cool because, like, you know, what I'm learning in life right now is pretty much preparing me for this Mars and Leo energy. So everything is all connected. It's so connected. Maybe I'll make a video of like explaining exactly how connected all the ages like, you know, like we're in the age of Aquarius right now, like we were in the age of Pisces, how the ages go backwards, yet we're going forward. And it's so interesting, guys. I'll make a video explaining that. You'll have to like try to get onto my level of like, what? Yeah, it's very much out there, but who knows, you might gain something from it. If you want to know what phase you're in, first look at, okay, did something happen in your life that really made you grow up? If nothing did happen, look at the young adult quadrant. If something did happen, look at the adulting, learning how to be a proper adult quadrant up here. And then also, if you are a little older and you want to know what phase you're in, look after the MC line, and then you'll know. I don't know how long phases last. I'm sure I could calculate it based on how long your other phases have gone on for, but you know, they say they're approximately 7 years. But it's different for everybody because we all, you know, have a different lifespan. So I know I'm not going to calculate the age that you're going to die. I'm not going to do that. But I can know what energy you're going to be feeling up to that point, and sort of how your life will feel. So these videos are honestly just going to keep getting like more and more out there, because the deeper I get into astrology, the deeper just like my mind just keeps opening up to these like out there ideas, and it all makes perfect sense. And then I relate it back to everyone's birth charts, and it all makes perfect sense. So, if you saw my video on knowing like what time of so like your moods throughout the day, it's also going in a cycle like this. Your life is a cycle like this. You know, you could even count this down to the minutes and the seconds of the day. It's really interesting. Also, like, you know, a year is similar to this. We're always going through the 12 signs. We're always cycling through because the moon is doing that. The moon's cycling through all the signs like every day. So we're experiencing the same thing. Oh, also, there's 12 months in a year which go through all of the signs. So we're all experiencing the same things. So if you say, okay, I'm just a sun sign, I'm just a Gemini, I'm just a Cancer, blah, blah, blah. No, you're a lot more than that, and you're experiencing it all with us. Excuse me, that's my chair, by the way, rubbing up against my desk. Okay, anyway. Let me know if that helped you understand anything about yourself. I'd appreciate that. And my next video, oh yeah, actually this video was supposed to be about Mars and Venus, but I got sidetracked onto phases. So anyway, my next video will be about Mars and Venus and how important it is to satisfy both your Mars and Venus within yourself. It's satisfying your masculine and your feminine energy within yourself so that you don't go searching for it in people, expecting them to make you feel complete. Does that make sense? The more time you spend on your own is going to give you that chance of satisfying your Mars and your Venus, which will make you feel whole, which will make you not look for stupid relationships and, like, you know, not going to spend all your time on Tinder. Okay, that'll be the next video. Oh my god, I'm getting ridiculous. Whatever. Alright, peace out, guys. Thanks.